Yeah, between two burns. Between two burns, yeah, between two burns. Come and join the convo. Jason and Ethan here to talk, yo. Chillin' while we filling up the room with cigar smoke. Hey, between two burns. Between two burns, yeah, between two burns. This be the show that you like. We always keeping it hype. We got cigars in the mic, talking the pipe and the pint. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. Between Two Burns is back.
Between Two Burns.
Between Two Burns is back. Your favorite cigar-related podcast. I think we ranked number 1 on iTunes, just ahead of the Joe Rogan Experience, which is pretty cool.
We turned down, a lot of money the other day from
hundreds of millions of dollars.
We do it for the people.
We do it for the people. This is not for.
We don't want to be censored. You know what I mean? We don't want people giving us an agenda.
That's right. We want to be able to say what we want to say, when we want to say it, how we want to say it.
That's right.
And yet we don't have anything really we want to say. So that's how it works out. What are we at? Thursday, October 9th is what we're at right now.
Yep.
We're officially in fall. It's October.
Spooky season.
It's spooky season. Halloween is rapidly approaching us. And I think, we're going to chop it up again today. We're going to talk about some topics, hang out with us, smoke a cigar with us, have a beer with us while you're listening to this, have a Topo Chico with us while you're listening to this.
Yeah. I miss stouts. I just tried that stout, and I used to drink a lot of stouts.
I personally am not a stout person. But
oh, man. A lot of stouts and cigars. The price of losing weight, my friend.
That actually brings up a kind of an interesting question. I'm going to assume what I think I know what it is, but what is your favorite drink to have with the cigar? Like if you're just, that's what I figured, but you never know. Mine's coffee.
Yeah, you told me that before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bourbon, and honestly, I really like wine. When I drink beer,
I think wine
I just want to drink beer.
Super underrated going with cigars. Wine goes really well with cigars.
Yeah, we did that whole pairing episode, and honestly, it's usually just whatever bourbon I've got open at the house. If I'm drinking beer, I'll smoke a cigar with it, but I'm not trying to pair it. I'm just trying to watch some football and drink some beer and smoke some cigars.
That's true. Well, speaking of beer, I've got today's beer of choice for me is Tobacco Wood False Motivation IPA, which is super popular here in the Durham shop. Daily drinker, as they say.
Yeah, I like it.
It's an all-day, everyday IPA.
It's good. That's a tagline somewhere. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had the Firestone Walker Mocha Latte Stout that Vicky's got on tap over here, and boy, it was good. That's the first stout I've now had this much of it that I've had in a long time, and it's just good, man. It's just real good.
Yeah. I probably should just reach out and try more. See if it's something
it's a meal in a glass.
That's always the thing with me. For me, it sits so heavy.
Yep.
That you're just like,
Sneak up on you, too. You drive.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing's 9%, which there's some that are out there that are much higher, but because the sugar content in it's so high, it absorbs in your bloodstream quicker, so you just hit you like a freight train.
Yeah. I think what the listeners of this podcast are more interested in is what we're smoking. So I'm going to let you, certified tat guy, certified saint and a sinner.
Ooh.
You brought these from home.
I did. So this is the Tatuaje Wolfman Redux number 4 from last year.
So this is Redux from last year.
This is Redux from last year. I had planned on bringing mummies. I bought mummies. Mummy is my favorite monster. I don't know that any of the stores have any mummies left, so if you got some, congratulations. I love that cigar.
Yeah, I think we're all sold out. Came in last week. This year's monster release.
I forced you to
really
smoke
good.
it.
Yeah,
you liked it.
Yeah, really good.
But I think I put them in a different humidor at the house, and so when I opened up my other humidor, I saw these Sumatran wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, and filler. I don't think you've smoked it before. I don't remember you smoking it last year.
I have not smoked this. I did not smoke last year's. Like I said, I like to keep it out for everybody.
I think you'll really like it. It's more medium. Sumatran's hit or miss for me, but this is good Sumatran. It's not bitter.
Yeah.
It's toasty, roasty, nutty, chocolatey. Get some coffee notes
right off the initial light. It's definitely nutty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think you'll like it. It's got the shaggy foot on it, which is always cool, and then it's a fairly long cigar. So it's a podcast cigar.
It's a good podcast cigar. I agree. So, Mummy Redux, which was number 5.
Number 5
this year. When do you remember when the original Mummy was done?
2012, I think, because that's when I started smoking and I missed it.
Okay. Last year was Wolfman, which we had a whole thing with. We've mentioned on the podcast before, but Pete was nice enough and willing to donate an additional box that we raffled off. Sold tickets for the Red Cross in Western North Carolina to do the hurricane damage, which was great. That was Redux 4, right? Original Wolfman, do you remember when?
It would have been 11.
11 right before that?
Yep.
Before Wolfman last year was Face, which is that the Jason one? Is that what it is?
No, Jason's next year.
Oh, Jason is next year?
Jason's next year.
Gotcha. What is Face reference?
San Andreas. It's got the natural wrapper right here is a band.
What character is it supposed to be?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, that. Okay,
Yep.
gotcha. Thought that might be the case.
Yep.
And then, so that was Redux 3.
Yep.
Year before that was Monster Smash.
I think Smash was last year, actually.
We got Wolfman and Smash last year?
I think so. I think when Frank was the first one. It's Connecticut Broadleaf. I think that's when he did Monster Mash. But it may have been when he did Drac, which was number 2.
Okay.
There was no sampler this year, obviously, though. So
no sampler this year. So Monster Mash was last year, which was 13 cigars, correct?
14.
And it was one of everything.
And then
but not original
creature.
Rolled, right?
Correct. It's the original blends. Last year's were all 5.5 by 52 box press Robustos. I think maybe in 54, but all original blends. And then it had the creature in it, which the creature he's only done in Monster Mash and Monster Smash, which is a really good cigar, by the way. But
the creature is. I don't think I've ever. Had
and then I can't remember when he did it, but obviously we had the Karloff, and then he did the Boris Karloff. Was that earlier this year? Or was that last year?
No, that was.
Was that last year?
No, it may have been.
Before that?
Yeah, it was in 24.
Okay.
So
I think
it may have been right at the end of 24, right as we went into the holidays, maybe.
Maybe. I think I read on Half Wheel that the Tatuaje Mummy Redux 5 was the 100th rendition of Monsters in the series. Between all the sizes and samplers and everything that Pete's done, it was the 100th version. Yep.
What you do, you may have just said this, but what was your favorite one?
Mummy.
Mummy is your favorite. The original Mummy is your favorite.
Mummy's
one?
really good. I like Michael a lot. Jason's pretty good. Frank's pretty good.
And this Mummy compared to the original Mummy?
I never had the original Mummy. When it came out, I had the privilege of smoking one that someone gave me, but it was, I don't know, 10 years old.
So you're saying this version of Mummy we just got's your favorite?
Yes.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yep. I like all the versions of the Mummy. The Mummy in the Smash was good. Mummy in the Mash was good. The Mummy in the Pudgy Monster. I don't know if you remember that sampler.
Yep.
That was really good. I just like the Mummy blend a lot. I think it's really good. It's based on the Tatuaje Black Label blend, which is my opinion, the most underrated tat blend. Ecuador or it's a sun-grown. I think it's Ecuadorian sun-grown Criollo wrapper leaf on Mummy.
Okay.
Same thing on Black Label. So,
okay.
Anyways.
So that came in recently. What else new came in? Oh, Deadwood's Dia de los Muertos.
Yep.
If you're a flavored person.
Spooky season.
Yeah, that's another spooky season release if you want it. That's what this second year they've done this, or is it third?
Well, it's the second year they've done it nationwide. It was done exclusively for some cigar shops before. But last year was the first nationwide release. This year they did all the different fancy bands and everything. Same thing.
Colorful box. So if you're a Deadwood person, get it while we've got it, because it is what we've got's what there is, and then after that you got to wait till next year. Yeah, you got to wait till next year if you're lucky enough. Anything else?
Well, we had Foundation's 10th anniversary, which is...
we haven't talked about this like that.
You didn't smoke it, right?
I have. Do I even have one?
I have an extra one I will give you because you need to smoke it. It is.
Everybody has loved that cigar.
I think it's probably my favorite limited edition that's come out this year. In a long time, actually. Does that make it cigar of the year? You'll have to watch the Stogies to find out.
Yeah, tune into the Stogies.
But it was spectacular. They knocked it out of the park. Awesome cigar.
Awesome packaging too.
Yeah.
Both the packages are good, but there was how to describe the box. It folded out and swung out and did all the things, but it's
if you've seen
super cool.
If you saw the El Monte 5th year anniversary
Like a
box,
chest kind of thing.
it was like that, but cooler, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I thought it was cooler than that one too. Yeah,
great cigar.
Great cigar.
New Viaje releases had a big Opus drop. I did smoke the brand new Opus El Tres Magistral.
Oh, you did?
Spectacular.
You know what's funny? I like Opus, and I tell you that the Blue Label is one of my favorite cigars, if not my favorite cigar. But I don't smoke it a lot, and I actually just, because we had such a huge drop this time and was able to get everybody and anybody taken care of, I didn't feel so bad grabbing a couple over the last weekend to smoke for myself. Power Ranger and a... What else did I have? Oh, a double Corona.
You got a Petit Lancero,
and the Petit
too.
Lancero I haven't smoked yet that you say back, which I'm eager to smoke. I take that back.
I
I
thought
smoked
you
that too.
smoked it
Yeah,
yesterday.
I did smoke
Yeah.
that. Yeah. All three, awesome.
Yeah.
Really, really, really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, I rarely smoke Opus on that Saturday just because we're so damn busy, and I don't like smoking expensive cigars when we're busy.
Yeah.
But I decided I was going to do it. I grabbed one because so many people were talking about it. I'd never smoked it before. Very different flavor profile from regular Opus, but still had that oily coat the
So that's
palate.
what I always wondered. Give me your rundown on it.
I mean, it was chocolatey, coffee, oily, leather, citrus. Had some like really unique spice going on to it, like Opus always has. But just the way that it coated the palate was just awesome.
It didn't look like any Opus that I've seen before.
No,
You know what I
and
mean, it's just from
was
not a good way or a bad way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you grabbed one, good for you. I'd let it sit maybe for another month or two. I will say that I had a little bitterness up front, but it quickly subsided. But I mean, I've talked about Opus this year on the podcast. One of my hot takes was that Opus isn't worth the hype. That's the first limited edition Opus I've smoked in a long time where I was like, damn, this is
Yeah.
it. This is it. This is where it's at right here. And it's expensive, but I mean, man, it was good.
Have you smoked the 25th? I can't remember.
I smoked one that our good friend Opus David gave me.
Oh,
and
that's
I
right.
thought it was mid, but
That one was.
yeah. But apparently the Salamone's really good. I have not smoked the Salamone.
Salamone is the one that came in the
humidor.
In the humidor, it had
Yeah.
in the individual coffins.
Yeah, I had the
that
double
one either.
Corona. It was out of the Dream to Dynasty sampler that Mr. Gillette got from us. And he was gracious enough to give it to me. It wasn't bad, don't get me wrong. It was not a bad cigar. It just, knowing how good 20th is, I had high expectations, and they were not met at all. I think that's the best way to put it.
Okay, yeah, I mean that's reasonable. Yeah, because I guess the cigar could be good, but not also live up to what you believe it's, at least what you're led to believe of what it is, I guess. So yeah, but yeah, great Saturday, man. I think our biggest Opus drop, we were packed
Everybody
with
was
people,
really happy. Yeah, and
people
like you said, we
waiting
got to
out
take
front.
care.
Gotta
I
take
feel like
care
we
of-
took care of more people this time than we ever have before.
We've ever been able to.
And it wasn't like we were limited to 2 per person. I mean, we're
Yeah, and
making sure people can get what they want.
some of it was timing. Like anybody listening who's a customer knows how we do our Opus. We gather it and we do it in 2 drops a year versus just kind of tossing it on the shelf. We make a day of it, get everybody out. We've got people waiting outside before the doors open. The guys in High Point like to tailgate. They bring out the Blackstone
They still
and make
never
breakfast.
got us breakfast.
Yeah. But part of it was timing where we did our spring drop, but then an Opus allocation came kind of right after it. So it added a little bit of extra Opus that probably typically would have been included in the early season drop for the fall. There was the Limiteds, the 25th, and the Magistral. And then Fuente did a really good job of getting allocations out.
Yep.
This year, so they were abundant and plentiful.
Yep.
Seems like they're, you can't judge stock issues by what you get in Opus because that's not the same thing. But even in the regular production, it seems like they've pretty close to solving their prior COVID qualms when it came to supply and demand.
For now. I can't wait till we can have a Marifel Fuentes split podcast.
Yeah, we were talking about that in the shop yesterday. Like, I just got to know some.
Yeah, I hate to
I don't even
speculate.
know. I don't. Yeah, I'd hate to speculate. I'm like, that's not true. I'm happy to speculate. I'll make anything
That's
up.
fair.
Yeah, man, I don't give a shit.
It's for the views, man.
Yeah, it's for the hey, subscribe, smash that like button. I want like at least some conjecture or rumor. You know, I mean, what we believe is there's no love lost here.
No.
It appears to be, you know, beyond business and maybe personal. And we're yet to see what the real impact for either company is going to look like.
Yep.
Because now the Marifels have a whole, you know, no pun intended, a whole lot of Cameroon available for other companies to have and for them to use and for them to buy.
I think this is a real put your money where your mouth is situation for both companies. Right? So Fuentes says they have 10 years worth of Cameroon. They think that they can get just as good Cameroon from elsewhere. Marifel thinks that they have the best Cameroon and can sell it to anybody. Put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I got to think that there's going to be a demand for that Cameroon.
Yeah.
If about everybody. Even if you don't make a Cameroon cigar, your opportunity to make a Cameroon cigar. I'm gonna name a company. You tell me if they make a Cameroon because you know everything and I don't know anything. Does my father make anything Cameroon?
No.
Couldn't you see my father putting a Cameroon on something?
Yep.
Wouldn't that be
That's one of the few
unbelievable?
rappers I don't think they've ever worked with, to my knowledge. They may
Perdomo?
have. They have that little tiny
so they had
Cameroon.
the Cameroon cabinet, which was
a banger.
Which is a banger. Like, if they got into a Cameroon
They've
line
always
or something
wanted
like
to do a Cameroon full line, but they didn't have enough Cameroon to do it. So
that would be sick. So I think you and I kind of came to the conclusion that we don't think that Marifel has a problem selling and finding buyers for the Cameroon. It's probably that 4 to 5 companies pick up what the one company that Fuente is not getting anymore.
Yeah.
I think that's probably realistic, right? That, you know, again, I'm just making up companies, you know what I mean? But we know creative cigar people who I think would love to be able to work with Cameroon if they were to be able to get their hands on it. I could see somebody like Gellis being interested in something like that. I could see Malia interested in something like that. You know, I don't know where AJ gets his Cameroon from, if that's Marifel already. Or
I
if
don't
that's
think
from,
it is. It doesn't taste like it anyways.
Yeah. So there's just going to be, I think, a larger pool of people that want it. So that, you know, I think we read that 80% of the Cameroon that the Marifel sold went to the Fuente family directly.
That sounds right, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So if that's the case, then, yeah, I think you got 4, 5, 6, maybe a dozen. Who knows? That want to get
we're
their
not even
hands
talking
on
about the big boys, right? Could
No.
you imagine if Davidoff bought all that Cameroon to do a Cameroon Davidoff, or on the flip side of things, General or Altadis bought all that Cameroon to make a Hemingway or Don Carlos competitor?
competitive cigar? Yeah.
Like, man, it's gonna be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other big news in the cigar industry, which seems much more amicable, is Hoya and Drew splitting up.
Yeah, so we were somewhere we were at the golf tournament, which we actually will get to before we're done with this podcast. And we read the article, and we saw the headline. We both kind of were like, you know, a juxtaposition, because you coming off the Marifel one, you're like, oh man, what is happening?
Yep.
Like, is something going on? And based on everything we've heard on there, and again, what leads me to believe that the Marifel one was not amicable, was not, very polite, or however you want to put it, is like the press releases that both companies put out. And this one were very glowing of each other. Like, it's time for us to take control of this on our own behalf. We've reached this point and everything like that. I will say the kind of thing I told you when we heard about it is I don't think that there's any other example. There's some that are close, Newman Fuente or whatever it may be, but that they almost were so in business and with each other that you didn't know it was two separate companies, right? You just got so used to being sold Hoya as part of the Drew package, and really they were using it as an extension of their own lines and everything like that. And really they used it, I think they used it kind of to fill gaps in what their own offerings were, right? It's like, but we have the Hoya and all
Well,
these
I was
things.
like when the Hoya Antonio Connecticut came out, Undercrown Shade, I think, was the only Connecticut that Drew Estate had that I could think of. Because I don't think 20 Acre Farm was out yet. Blackened certainly wasn't. Nika certainly wasn't.
No, Nika. I mean, which is another new cigar that we got in private theme was the new Nika Connecticut, which for all intents and purposes completes that line. A Maduro, Habano. Is that what the other one? Corojo? I can't remember. The Adobe.
I think it's Habano, yeah.
And then now a Connecticut, which, again, if you're a Drew smoker, you know those cigars. That's a good line, complete line of sizes and everything like that. But did Hoya Connecticut come out after Undercrown Shade? I was feeling like Undercrown Shade's only in the last few years.
I don't know. I feel like it did. I feel like Undercrown Shade was a thing, but I don't know. But I'm 99% sure that was the only real Connecticut that Drew Estate had at the time. Well, and here's the thing, like, you're talking about filling holes. So Hoya had the Antonio Dark, which were stronger cigars.
Yep.
Well, Drew Estate has Blackened now.
Yep.
Right? They had the silver, the red, and all that kind of stuff. Well, now Drew Estate has Nika in three different wrapper leaves,
right? It does
right?
feel like if you're Hoya and you're looking at this, it's like, hey, we're going to take this. We're of the ilk now that we can handle it on our own.
Yeah.
We appreciate all the help, but we do have, your reps are now selling cigars to stores that are more competitive to ours. I could see that being at least something that helped in the decision making, right?
Yeah, that, and also Drew Estate is owned by Swisher. So
yeah, it's a conglomerate
there's
these days.
No telling, what may have happened there, with that too, because Swisher does not own Hoya. Hoya is its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it could have been one of those things too where Swisher was like, meh, let's just go, let's talk about this. Let's see what we can figure out because we need to gar separate. Who knows? But it seemed, like you said, it seemed much more amicable, much more like there was no reading in between any lines of like, this is bad. Whereas the Fuente Marifel thing, if you read between the lines at all,
I don't even think you need to read between the lines. I think it almost.
I think it just gets worse when you read between the lines.
We read the line that they're no longer trading with each other.
Yeah.
And made it very specific that was the verbiage that they were going to use, and there's been no follow up in regards to it, because if it was still going to be okay and everything like that, all these, cigar journalists, we'll call them aficionado, half wheel, coupe, have all reached out to both companies, and neither one of them has a comment on it. Suggests.
I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't a lawsuit coming.
That would be wild.
No.
That would be wild. And again, I would love to talk to somebody at least has a little bit of the know.
Yeah.
They know how, and maybe we can find that person. We'll get them on the podcast. We can talk about it. But I think I would love to spend an hour and a half talking about that alone and what that means, because it just. We're going down the rabbit hole now, but it has such huge ramifications beyond those two companies. The obvious things, what it could do to Marifel if there aren't buyers for the Cameroon, what it does for Marifel if there is plenty of buyers for the Cameroon, what it does to Fuente if they can't get the substitute in the amount that they need. Right, and then what it could potentially do for a multitude of different manufacturers, of what that what the new cigars coming from these other companies with, creative blenders and everything could look like. It could open this whole new world of Cameroons coming out from different people with different vibes and everything like that.
It's also unprecedented because I can't think of another example where the relationship between two companies was so intertwined in such a very special way.
Yeah.
Right? Because, like, I thought about it. I was like, oh, well, you know, like, what happens if Aganorsa gets sold? Then, you know, Dion has to go. Like, they're not going to make Dion cigars, and they're going to make Kyle cigars, and they're not going to make Viaje cigars. It's like, yeah, but those people can go and have their cigars made by someone else.
Yeah.
Whereas with this, Marifel owns over 3,000 plots of Cameroon that I think were just for Fuente. Like, and like we've talked about on here, it was not just Hemingway and Don Carlos. All of their natural lines, unless they're specified as Connecticut, are Cameroon.
Yep.
So, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's wild.
And there's also the, you know, what if this is all like Fuente, like, we don't need you anymore, and like there's something we don't know about them growing their own. You know,
yeah, I agree. The interesting thing about that though is, like, so we've had Cameroon that's grown in Honduras. We've had non-Marifel Cameroon before.
Oh yeah.
Marifel Cameroon
is
better. The best. It has a very distinct taste. That is the signature flavor profile of Arturo Fuente, in my opinion, outside of Opus, obviously. Even if they're going to be growing Cameroon in Nicaragua at their new Nicaraguan field farm factory, whatever, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be the same. Time will tell. We'll have a podcast 5 years from now and have a better idea of what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I just the nosiness in me wants to know.
Yeah.
Wants to know so bad. All right, so as we get into the meat of this episode, we came up with this, let's call it shtick, the other day. We wanted to do, because we've got some ideas for podcasts going down the road that we're formulating, that we got to do our research on, and long
line up some dates for guests.
Lines up dates for guests. Yeah. So we kind of had this hole, and we wanted to make sure we filled it with something that's kind of fun. So we wanted to just do rapid fire. So I've got a list of kind of different categories, different questions. I'm not going to do them all. I'm going to kind of cherry pick the ones that I like, and I'm going to ask them to you. And then I think we go as long as we want on every one. If we want to extrapolate on it, let's do that. If it's a 30-second in and out, that's fine too. But I think it'd be fun. We'll just answer some questions and stuff like that.
This is also gut check a little bit, because I don't know.
You don't know anything on here. Nothing's wild and crazy. But it could be good, and I think it'd be good for if you're listening. Like, you know, we'd love to hear you on Instagram or YouTube. Yeah. You know what your answers, to some of these are. And
I will say,
have a discussion about them.
Before we get into this,
sure.
I appreciate everyone that listened to the Hot Takes episode and has come up to me and either told me I'm stupid or I've changed your mind about V-cutters. Because I've had multiple customers come up to me and say, you ruined it for me, or you're dumb. And I'm cool with either. It's a hot take. But for those people, we did V-cut these cigars today because it's a torpedo, because that's what it was made for.
You know, we've had this back and forth, and then I think you think that I am specifically V-cutting my cigars to spite you,
you told
at
me
the
you
shop,
were.
which is 100% true. I don't hate it, though. I really don't.
Yeah, I know.
It is not my preferred way. Now, okay, what's your least favorite way?
V-cut.
See, I know
you
I don't like punching at all.
I don't like punching cigars because the punches get dull really quickly, and if they're dull, it can screw the cigar up.
That's the thing. I always like, unless you have got, and I'm sure there is some very sharp, very good punches, but your general average punch, I feel like you just run the risk of pushing that cap through. And
I will say this. V-cutter
is
still my favorite.
But it's super convenient. I know that.
Yeah, V-cutter is still my least favorite type of cut because of what it can do to a cigar, right? Like the intrusiveness on the cap. We talked about that already. I don't understand the purpose of a punch. I will say that. Like, a punch is for people that never learned how to properly straight cut a cigar.
So that's the thing, because like when we talk about it, when you properly straight cut a cigar,
Yeah.
it's really not much bigger than a punch.
No.
When you're taking it off properly. It's the fact that folks go down 1.25 inches.
Yeah.
On the, on it, which we listen.
Take the whole shoulder off.
Somebody may be laughing like, that's stupid. Nobody does that. We've seen people take 1 inch of a cigar off.
I know this guy's not going to listen to our podcast, so I'm going to tell this story. So I had a guy come in, older gentleman. He's a really nice guy.
Be sick if he's listening.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck you, Ethan.
Yeah. Sorry. Actually, I'm not. But he came in, and I mean, I've got a good rapport with him, and I asked him if he wanted me to cut his cigar, and he said no. He said, I was in Cuba at one point, or no, he said I was in Miami, and I was talking to a Cuban, and the Cuban told him gringos don't know how to cut cigars. And so this Cuban said, you should never let somebody else cut your own cigar, and I'm going to teach you how to cut a cigar properly. So this guy was like, so I learned how to cut my cigars from this Cuban in Miami, like talking this dude up, like won't let me touch the damn thing. And then he proceeds to take our cutter and cut about 1/2 inch off the top of the cigar.
Sick.
I was like, all right, bro. Cool.
It's my favorite thing when somebody starts invoking that I met a Cuban. I went to Cuba one time. I saw this is how you do it. This is how they do it in Cuba. And then you cut half the cigar in half.
Yeah.
You took a Churchill and you made 2 Robustos.
Yep.
And listen, if you're looking for value, maybe that's the way to do it.
I guess. Anyways, all right.
Let's
check rapid fire.
So in different categories, we're just going to do rapid fire. We can extrapolate on it. We'll go from there. Best cigar you've smoked this month?
I'm going to include last month since we're only
and this doesn't have to be a new
days.
cigar this
Yeah.
month. In the last 30 days. So, since our last pod.
Boy. I'd really have to sit down and think about whether or not it's the Mummy, the Foundation 10th anniversary, or the El Magistral. Because all 3 of them are so different, and they were all so good, and I smoked them all in the right setting and the right time. But they're so different. I think the biggest surprise for me was the Opus, though. So because of the surprise and the wow factor of it, I'm going to say the Opus at this moment.
The regular or the Magistral?
The Magistral.
Okay, great. Mine's going to surprise you a little bit. I don't think it is because you and a couple other people actually said, like, damn. I hadn't had one in a while. This is not a new cigar. Our 25th anniversary cigar from Aganorsa is now, that was October of 2023 when we took possession of that, right?
Yep.
Roughly. So we're basically at 2 years old on that. All the stores have it. We got, we took a huge lot of them, so we've been going through them. It had been a while. So excited I'm burping. That cigar is so good.
So good.
And, it's always been this good. But, when you get away from it from a while because of all the new stuff coming in, you kind of get... That's actually going to lead to another question down the line, which I may actually just jump to after this. But it is so good.
Yeah, Austin.
So glad we did that with it. And it was actually Austin who said, Austin, I smoked one the other day. You got to get back on this and taste how good it is. And then, and I just had it, and I was like, golly. And the fact that it's ours and nobody else has got it or anything like that. So
I will say I need to change my answer real quick before we continue because I forgot I smoked it. I smoked one of my Tatuaje Boris Karloffs the other day.
Oh, did you?
That cigar is perfect.
Yeah. What is the makeup of that cigar?
I think it's Sumatran as well, Nicaraguan. But
I never had it. I don't even know if I saw it outside of a box.
Well, we got so little of it. Remember,
we got tiny.
I bought my box from a different retailer just because I wanted to make sure I got one.
Yeah, and I like Tatuaje stuff a lot, but I like taking care of the Tatuaje guys who love it so much. So a lot of times I skip over it.
It is a Sumatran wrapper.
It is Sumatran.
Yeah, it's a Sumatran wrapper. I'll bring you. I thought you smoked it. I thought I'd given you one. That cigar is perfect. And shout out to our good friend Mike Martello. He was the one that got me on the original Karloff because we weren't deep with Tat when that cigar came out. And that cigar is unbelievable. But this Boris Karloff in that like Robusto Grande-ish size is unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's one of my favorite cigars of all time. That's how good it is.
Damn.
Yep. And I smoked one the other day. I forgot about that.
Okay, so this is actually going to lead to one of the other kind of rapid fire questions. Give me a cigar that always surprises you when you go back to it and revisit it. And mine's actually going to be something we've already talked about.
You go ahead. Let me think for a second since you've got it.
Every time I have a Hoya, Connecticut.
The Antonio, Connecticut.
The Antonio, Connecticut.
I remember when that cigar came out, man.
Love that cigar. Yeah. And there's been a resurgence of Connecticut's, specifically Nicaraguan Connecticut's, and what I would call more nuanced Connecticut's over the last few years. And for me personally, that still stands head and shoulders above everything. And I'll try the other ones. I smoke a lot of Connecticut's. I like Connecticut cigars, and I go back to it, and it's great every time. You're just like, and it just. If you're a Connecticut smoker, but you're strictly a Dominican Connecticut smoker, which is fine, I would urge you to try Nicaraguan Connecticut's because you just get another level of a little bit more nuance, a little bit more, in some cases, that spice that Nicaraguan's known for. I think they're always a little bit more full than those. They fit right into like what I like as far as a fullness factor, but when I go back to cigar, I will say Legacy Connecticut has a case these days, considering how good that Nicaraguan Connecticut is with that shade-grown Corojo Cameroon, right?
Yeah, Corojo Cameroon hybrid.
Yeah, hybrid. Yep. And the binder in that. Every time I go back to it, though, because, we carry two sizes, it doesn't get lost in the humidor, but it's kind of right there, and you're like, yeah, I'll grab that. And then you're just like, God, every time I go back to it, you just can always count on it being good.
I remember when it came out, we didn't bring it in, and then Half Wheel gave it #1 cigar of the year. It's 19 or 20, and we didn't have room on the shelf for it at the time or something, and I personally bought, I think, 6 boxes of that cigar.
Did you really?
Yeah. Basically, every time we did a Drew order, I tacked a box of Robustos on for me, because every single morning that I was off, I would go outside at my house and smoke one because it is the perfect morning cigar, in my opinion. Not that it's not a great afternoon cigar, too, but like just for me, the creaminess, the citrus note, the like nuttiness.
It's got some floral to it.
It's so damn good.
Yep.
So good. My answer, Padron 3000 Maduro.
Great answer, because I had some just regular core Padron, I think a 3,000 or 4,000. Last month I was just like, oh, Padron. And you're just like, man, these are good.
So
these are good. They're not flashy.
Yeah.
The packaging is the packaging. The look is the look, but it's Padron. You get that toothy wrapper to it. I mean,
I've always said that Padron Core Series is a reminder that if every other single cigar in the humidor went away but we were left with Padron, we'd be okay. Like, it's not the best cigar in the world, but it delivers every time. Every time.
Every time.
Yeah. Every time.
Yep. We've talked a little bit. Actually, I'll be very curious to what you say about this, because I think it could be, what's a boutique brand that people may not know about that they need to know about?
Obviously, we've talked 100 times on here about Shamali, but I'm not going to say them because I've spread the gospel enough. And I may be stealing your answer here. And it's not one that we carry. I'm going to say Domain cigars.
Oh, you're not stealing my answer, but Domain is really good.
Domain, because, listen, if it was something that we carried, it'd be Warped. I love Kyle.
Yeah,
I love Warped, but like, I'm going to say something that I've smoked before that we don't carry, that if you told me that, Like, if a customer came in the store and said, on your recommendation, I bought Domain from somewhere else, I'd say good for you because it's that good. At least the ones that we've smoked, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've gotten some samples from a rep. We had them at the show. If I'm not mistaken, they have their own factory. I think their master blender used to work at or with Romacraft. They're more full-bodied.
Yep.
They're just really, really good cigars. Roma would also be up there if we're going off of just in general and also stuff that we carry. But I'm going to say Domain to give something new.
Yeah. Domain, good. Yeah. In our humidor, Warped. If you still don't know Foundation, Roma, even a little bit of Illusione. Mine is actually another one that we don't carry, and it's West Tampa. I've had the chance. We have a good relationship with the representation for West Tampa, and he's kind enough to stop by. He's encouraging us to buy it. We're thinking about it. I think with some announcements that we've got, not for this episode, but episodes coming up, that you probably could see that on our shelves at some point in time. Really, really, really enjoyed every West Tampa. It's the owner of West Tampa calling you right now, isn't it?
No, it's Mr. Monk, which normally he doesn't call me twice in a row. So I'm just going to text him and make sure everything's all good. So I apologize.
Well, you get in touch with Mr. Monk, and Blue Crab is the name of it, right?
So I got one.
Or Devil Crab.
I got one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, our good friend Mr. Pittman was down in Wilmington, and he stopped by a store, and they had some.
Oh, nice.
And he bought me one. I have not smoked it yet. I thought about bringing it today, but it's a little short for the pod. So,
yeah, the West Tampa Black. Is it Devil Crab or Blue Crab? What am I thinking?
Devil's Crab.
Devil's Crab. We got a chance to bump into them at PCA. Had a great conversation, bro. And the cigars are really good.
Yeah, they are.
I don't usually get, that I'm more, I don't want to say leery than you are, but like, that my answer to anybody who's coming in and selling cigars, like, listen, if you want me to put 12 boxes of cigars on, I got to take 12 boxes off.
Right.
And everything in that humidor sells, so you're going to have to sell me on why it works. And we genuinely don't ever just poo-poo anybody. If they're kind enough to drop off samples, we typically smoke them and give them an honest college tries of whether they think it fits in our humidor or anything like that. I think both Domain and West Tampa in the future probably have a place at our shelves, I would say.
Domain, in my opinion, is more of the Foundation Tabernacle, Romacraft, Cro-Magnon. At least the ones that I've smoked.
Yes,
I've not smoked all of them.
Yeah.
More full-bodied Nicaraguan blends, whereas West Tampa is going to be, and I think the reason West Tampa is doing so good is because they're so much more geared to the average cigar consumer.
They're just fit a more general population, for
foundation echelon of like Nicaraguan cigars, and they're making really good cigars.
Yep.
Really good cigars. I know you smoked the White Lancero.
White Lancero.
Like a couple of them, and we're raving about it.
Yeah, really liked both of those. And then when we were at the show, we had is it the black?
Yeah, I like the red a lot. I think the red's really good.
I don't think I've had the red.
Yeah.
And then I'll be very interested to see what you think about the Devil's Crab, because I know people really gravitated to that. Yep. I think Half Wheel gave it exceptional reviews.
It's been a really good year for cigar releases.
I agree.
By the way, like sitting here thinking about everything, like we have really good releases this year.
I don't know what's left. I mean, we can stay on that for a second here, but what's left to release? The only
Rocky 30.
So that's the only thing I can think of that we were told or saw. La Union's expected in the next, 2 weeks. They said it was shipping at the end of September. We're now into October. It's still not here, so that's obviously not the case. La Union will be coming half 40 count boxes.
Yeah, half
20
half
and 20
Sumatran and half broadleaf this
Is
time.
that what this is? Yeah, 20 my father cigars made for Tatuaje, 20 Tatuaje cigars made for my father. First release was good. The packaging is cool. This is the red box, if I'm not mistaken.
It's the red.
Where the first one was the black box, comes with a cutter in it.
Yep.
Super cool.
Really cool color.
So if you're a Tat person, my father person, limited edition person, whatever, be on the lookout for that. I would expect that.
Yep.
But as far as, the only thing I can think of is Rocky 30, which I have not heard anything about since we essentially pre-ordered it.
I've asked when it's coming every month, and every month that I've asked, I've been told the next month, and then it's the month after that, and the month after that. So I don't think they know, if I'm being honest with you.
That's my concern. I'm curious if it comes this year, because I don't care for when limiteds come in January.
And we smoked it, or at least Robbie did. I don't think I did. We had 2 samples from the show. I gave mine to Robbie.
Of the Rocky 30th?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Robbie
I don't remember
said it was
smoking
good.
it.
And Robbie's fairly critical when it comes to that stuff. So.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Last question in our, we'll call it the cigar world category I was talking about. Give me your, this is going to be very subjective, but give me your most underrated size of cigar. The one that, obviously we know we're Robusto, Toro, and these days Grande.
Yep.
Is going to be, hot on everybody's mind.
I need to look something up real quick to get the specific size. So if you got an answer, go ahead.
A really good Salomon is underrated to me.
You do like the Salomon.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This is going to boil down to being a personal preference. I don't know why. I really, really enjoy that shape and size.
So
I like Lonsdales. I like Coronas.
So I'm going to say Corona Gorda, but specifically somewhere between a 5 5/8 by 46 to 6 1/8 by 46. So somewhere around a Toro length, but a 46 ring gauge. Like some of my favorite cigars of all time have been that size. The Tat 20 Gram Mareva is that size. That's the one I was looking up. I feel like you get the best of both worlds, right? You're getting a little bit more ring gauge, but not as much as a 50 or 52. But you're getting a little bit smaller ring gauge. Like you're still getting the Lancero feel. So it's like it's this perfect happy median, and it usually smokes in about an hour, which is always good size for me. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. And I don't even know if it's underrated so much as it's just not popular because people want a bigger cigar.
Yeah, and I guess that's probably more the question, size that you don't see selling all that often or whatever it is. But something about a correctly done Salomon that I really like.
Yeah. I get
it. Can't tell you why. I can't tell you why, because maybe the best cigar I ever had came in that Salomon when we had that Monte Cristo.
God, that cigar was
off the charts. Is the Bull a Salomon?
It is.
Bull's a Salomon. I've got that. Our friend, I'd actually have to figure out if that is a Salomon or not. The 20th Opus that Martello sent me.
Yeah, the God's Whisper. I think it is.
Yeah, it's at least it's adjacent at, because some are a little different than others, right? The same, like when you said, like the Corona Gorda, like, that size can be a little bit longer, a little bit, bigger ring gauge, depending on who's making it.
Yeah.
But all in that same kind of thing. Industry and culture category. Okay.
Take industry and culture for 200.
200. Okay. A couple of these we've kind of already talked about and answered. But this actually kind of plays off of what we just did. The ones that are kind of what we're kind of getting, the brands that need to come up. Who do you think is doing cigar marketing right now? What, in your opinion, what you like and seeing?
Does it have to be a brand or can it be a shop?
It can be anything. It can be anything. Mine may or may not surprise you, will actually be a shop.
Okay, I won't take it then because that's what I was actually going to say, so I know what yours is. All right. How about this? How about this?
We'll disclude ourselves because we are killing the social media game right now in the marketing game. So I don't want to dunk on anybody right now.
This is a sad state of affairs. I'm gonna rant here for a second because I'm trying to think of one cigar company, like one cigar manufacturer, that I think is doing a really good job with marketing. And
nothing's coming to mind.
Nothing comes to mind.
So it's part of the reason I wanted to ask the question, because nobody from a manufacturer standpoint jumps off the page to me. I think if I was forced to choose one, I think we have a little bias to this. I think Foundation's probably doing the best.
Yeah,
I think
they do a good job.
And I think I think you have to include packaging in this.
I do have my answer.
Okay, so
my answer.
I think the packaging and the story that is being told behind the Foundation stuff. We have a bias. You know, a person we know well is active in helping Foundation do their marketing, whether it's their photography, their social media, video production, whatever it is. I think Nick understands. I think Nick, Nate, and Eduardo understand the importance of that. Yeah. I think, you know, when we do stuff, I think some of the old heads don't understand why we do it. And we talk about this all the time. It's to, you know, as time passes, these things become old hat, and you need to be participating in these things to get new customers, right? You're crafting an experience. So if I'm manufacturing wise, I think I would put it on them. So, okay.
So my manufacturer would be Davidoff. Davidoff and their subsidiaries, Avo and Camacho.
Okay.
They do a really good job with... I really like the infographics that they make, where they have like the picture of the cigar and it's like unwrapped.
Yep, I do too.
I think they do a really good job with that. Obviously, it's a more lifestyle luxury brand, specifically Davidoff, not Avo and Camacho. But they do a really good job on social media marketing. Obviously, they do a really good job working with retailers for incentives on selling their product, specifically with Avo and Camacho and Zeno again. They have the Zeno trailer. Like, they are dumping money into marketing dollars and spiffs and retail promotions.
Promotional stuff.
And it works.
It does.
Like, Zeno has a foothold in our humidor, and the only reason we brought it in was because of the paddleboard promotion.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Like, Avo has back in our Southport store again, where it had kind of fallen off and it's selling well again. Like, I think they do a really, really good job. I do think that some of it's a little, like, I don't know the word I'm looking for, like, over the top, I guess.
Yeah.
But, again, it's a lifestyle brand. It's a luxury brand. You have to present it that way, and they do a very good job of doing that.
Yeah, and I think Drew probably does stay up there with
Drew
the freestyle
does
live
too,
stuff.
yeah.
I think I don't know how many people like participating in it. I think that does have a good following.
I just think it's...
they stay active in the culture, if that makes sense.
Obviously, I really like Warped. I like their packaging and stuff. But when I look at these boutique cigar companies, they either don't think it's important or don't have the money to hire a social media person or team to run their social media accounts. But it's very apparent, right? Like... like Gallus takes great pictures, or his media person takes great pictures, but he's not posting with the frequency enough that like I'm constantly seeing and it's grabbing my attention, right? Tatawahe does not do great pictures at all.
Nope.
Pete shares stories of pictures that his, you know, the smokers of his cigars have taken that are really good. My father is posting some weird, like, video clips with weird music and like really long explanation. It's just like, I just wish so much more could be done with so many of these companies.
Sometimes it feels like, hey, somebody told them, like, we got to be doing this, and then somebody forced something instead of like genuinely sitting down and thinking about what a good approach is to it. And, you know, I'd hate to spend an entire episode ripping on it. Esteban does a terrible job with it.
Yeah.
They only started becoming reactive in the last year or so, like that, and all they do is collaborate with some Russian guy or European guy who takes pictures over there and doesn't take pictures, like him posing with like a shop or something like that. And the reality is, this is how people connect with you. And as time passes, like we said, a person, you know, an older cigar smoker 20 years from now is a person who's participating in that now.
Yep.
Which leads me to my thing, and I don't think it's come as a surprise to you. Shout out to Dave Ember at the guys at Creekside. Creekside Cigars, I think, is up there with us with what they're trying to do and create a community around their customers.
Their short form video
stuff
content
is
awesome.
awesome.
Really good.
Dave comes from that kind of background and everything like that, is used to doing that. They do an awesome job with it, the stuff that they're doing. So, I want you buying cigars from us, but if you're up in that area or whatever it is, to the point that I've actually talked with Ember about I may go up and see them like next month, hang out for a day, go up like a Friday, come back on Sunday, check out their shop, maybe do their podcast and talk about stuff. Because I think, when you have a company like them doing it up there and you have us down here doing it in a very similar fashion. And, we both have podcasts. We do videos. We think about what we post and how we post it to get people's attention, because we've talked about this. We are in the cigar business, but we're also in the hospitality business. We want you to feel good about coming here and spending your money here. We want you to appreciate what you get. And I think they're doing like a world-class job of doing that.
Yeah.
I think, like you said, their short form stuff, long form stuff, whatever it is awesome. So you can check them out on YouTube to check out the stuff, or their Instagram.
I have a tangential note on this.
A tangential note. Let's hear it.
A rip on someone who fell from grace really hard, who was doing the best in my opinion, and that's Brian with Privada Cigar Club.
So that was going to lead me to another question, which was kind of like that. What cigar trend we talked about it that falls in here is like, are you sick and tired of seeing?
So I would argue at this point that that's over and done.
Yeah.
I get they're still in business, and I guess people still smoke LCA cigars and Privada Cigar Club cigars, but the fall from grace that happened is just wild to me. I think it had a lot to do with pride. I think it had a lot to do with
spite a little bit.
Spite and putting out. And honestly, I think it came a little bit from like not fully understanding your customer base, or at least not thinking that your customer base can't sniff out the bullshit.
So that
I'm gonna put it that way.
And that's the specific trend that I'm talking about. What can feel like, even if it's a good cigar, we're just trying to sell you the cigar because we put a goofy band and a goofy name on it, right? The Cookie Monsters and the this and then that. Because they were having good cigars early on.
See, that's the thing. Like, you can have a cigar with a goofy name and a goofy band on it. Do not market to kids. FDA. We don't need that in our lives. But like the Cookie Monster Lancero, when it first came out, dude, we had people messaging us from all over the country because they wanted it, and I smoked it, and it was a good cigar.
Oh, listen, when we were getting the LCA drops, we had guys waiting for it. Hey, they were coming to get other things, and they wanted to get, Cookie Monster was one, Death Bucket one
Death
and
Bucket
two.
That
was a Room 101 cigar.
25
that was
of the year that year. I think it was like number 17 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like putting out really, really, really good cigars, and then the quality started to really go downhill, and then the band started getting even dumber, and then you started doing some trademark copyright infringement stuff, and then you started borderline marketing to the kid thing with the Cinnabon and
but then
Disney
tried to hide behind a, like a, I don't even know what the word I'm looking for, but try to hide behind that, like it's free speech, we can do whatever we want, kind of standing on that hill when, the one that comes to mind, and you may have just mentioned that feels like it accelerated that, was the Cinnabon one. Really, when it was like, there's one thing to parody something, and it's one thing to basically put their logo on your product.
I mean, call it Cinnabon.
Yeah.
Just with like out.
Was it called Cinnabon or was it called Cigabon?
I think it was Cigabon. Or something like that.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm glad that has passed. I'm glad people don't come in and ask for that crap anymore, because it was crap at the end. Like it'd be one thing if you were still putting out banger cigars, but it was just crap. Yeah, Yeah, very glad that seems to be gone. There's nothing wrong with monthly cigar clubs. There's nothing wrong with being part of that community.
No, but again, it started to feel lazy.
You're taking advantage of your customer base that you already had, like, and then it was also pride in thinking that you knew better, not only than your customers, but also other people in the industry. The amount of fights that we've seen him get in. Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if he was just that kind of troll guy and he didn't see this and then called us and be like, what the fuck, man? Like, it's just the kind of person that he is, unfortunately, and he wasn't like that to start. At least it didn't seem that way to me. So I don't know what happened, but the fall from grace happened hard and it happened fast. And I'm glad I'm glad that trend's over.
Yeah, it did.
Or at least mostly over.
I know what your answer to this is, I think, but I don't know that we've actually ever talked about how it was like on the pod. And I want you. So, favorite cigar event you've ever attended?
The Edmanos Tatuaje event that I did. Yeah. So I went down. Our good friend Mr. Martello. He's been on the podcast before.
He'll be our first recurring guest.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is a professionally trained chef, and then obviously Big Tat guy got me into Saints and Sinners. And the guy that owns Edmanos Brewery down in Charleston, South Carolina, is also a big Tatuaje guy, but he's a big cigar guy. He's actually had Carlito Fuente down there at his restaurant before because they have a brewery, but then they also have a restaurant that serves some world-class food. Anyways, he decided to have Pete Johnson down there. Mike actually made all of the hors d'oeuvres for the evening. It was a 4-course meal. Pete Johnson was there. It was really cool, though, because I was able to go in a day early because Mike was there, and Mike's good friends with Pete and good friends with a couple reps that were down there. And they were doing a bourbon tasting the night before for a charity called Life of Lux. So I was able to go in there, have in a more intimate setting, sit down with Mike, who I'd never met before. It was the first time I ever met Mike, so that made it special. Saw him, sat down with Pete, smoked original release 10th anniversary Tatuaje that we had upstairs. You let me take those with me and shared those with the guys, made some really good friends, drank some bourbon. And then the next day was this event. The food was unbelievable. The vibes were unbelievable. The cigars were unbelievable. Open bar, like, it could not have been more perfect, in my opinion. And it's sad. I will say this. Because I've been working in this for so long, I haven't gone to as many cigar events as what we've put on. So I don't have as big of a sample size. Yeah. But I've never been to a cigar event at another cigar shop that I thought was just as good as what they were able to do at a non-cigar shop. Yeah. So anyways, unbelievable event. Great time. Yeah. Mine's going to come as no surprise. It's our 25th. One of the best days in the history of the Pipe and Pint. 25th anniversary, off-site. Huge number of people. Beautiful day. A car burned to the ground. Yeah. We had a fire sale that you created because of it. Great music, great food. Just one of those just like chef's kiss cigar days. People still talk about it. People like our customers ask all the time. Somebody asked me the other day, when are you going to do one again? I said 25 years from then. So, that's not one you could just replicate every year. But I think we will try to do that sooner than later. Yeah. Because you and I have tossed around the idea of doing like a cigar festival almost type of thing, which I think our area needs, especially since smoke in the Carolinas went away. So I think that's something that we'll plan I will say, over time. My favorite Pipe and Pint event, 25th was awesome. And it's probably number one, but a very close second, or maybe they'll flip-flop back and forth, was the El Rey de los Habanos release event. So that would be my favorite as a customer at the Pipe and Pint for sure. It was the last time Pepin was at the shop. Danger was there rolling cigars. Yep. We were releasing El Rey de los Habanos again. We had the coffee made for it. It was just awesome. Yeah. It was such a cool day. Meeting a legend. Yep. Super nice guy. Seeing him roll cigars. And it's a bummer, too. It kind of makes it even more special because you're thinking back. But
it's harder to put on those events these days. Those guys are aging, obviously, and they're harder to get to come around.
Yeah.
It just, it is what it is, which is understandable. Okay. Personal and lounge life.
Oh, boy.
Category. Some good ones in here. Go to lounge playlist vibe. If you're sitting around smoking a cigar, you're at home, you got your Bluetooth going, what are you listening to?
This is very seasonal.
Yeah.
It is. If it's summertime, and this is cheesy, it's super cheesy, but if it's summertime, it's Ella Fitzgerald's Summertime playlist.
Oh, really?
Jazz,
okay.
It's about the only time I listen to that type of music.
Yeah.
Not because I don't like it, but just because it's just, otherwise, if I'm listening to music, it's typically gonna be my normal chill country bluegrass kind of thing. I kind of
figured that was the case.
I'm not listening to rock or anything.
I do keep it more mellow.
Yeah,
if I'm just hanging out.
I've come to appreciate your yacht rock that you do.
Listen. You listen to
I've come to appreciate that a lot.
If you want to have a good time, you grab a cold beer on a nice day, have a cigar. Spotify's got one, Amazon's got one. Whatever music you listen to, put on the yacht rock station. Yeah. Get the Doobie Brothers going. Get Michael McDonald going. If you got you got that going, I'll listen to that. I will listen to the mellow country as well, and I like the Leon Bridges, the Nathaniel Ratliff, that kind of vibe as well. But I definitely keep it out, because if I'm just cruising down the road, if I'm driving, let's say from Southport, and it's the middle of the day, I'm coming back to Gridge, I'm smoking a cigar, got the windows out, a nice day. Then we get into the old school hip hop, 90s rap, blasting it with the wind sucking the cigar smoke out of my truck.
I go early, mid 2000s rock, grunge rock, punk rock, that kind of thing. I will say this, though, one thing for me, because I used to sit outside every single day and smoke a cigar. Every single day. And then I had my daughter. And now I smoke at the shop every single day, but I may smoke at my house once or twice a month.
Yeah, I'm the same way, actually, just because we smoke so much at the shop, and we're always there.
I scratch the itch at the shop, So now, and I used to listen to a lot more music. My music taste is fairly eclectic. So funnily enough, the last few times I've actually sat outside and listened to a podcast, smoked a cigar, I've either listened to a podcast or I've listened to...
do that. I was just going to say, I will listen to a podcast for sure.
Or I've listened to the albums of artists that have come out that I have not had time to listen to. Because, as you know, I'm an audiobook guy now. I'm listening to audiobooks a lot. But, last time I smoked a cigar outside of my house, I smoked a pork tenderloin and a something else. I was outside for about 2 hours. I listened to Lecrae's new album. I listened to a guy named Propaganda that's hip-hop, spoken word, poetry. Listened to his new album. I listened to... Tyler Childers' new album, just going through stuff, and honestly I hadn't listened to it again since then, but I just like keeping up with it.
Yep.
So sometimes I'll do that. But if I'm putting a playlist on, I've got a country playlist that's, it says more bluegrass than country, that's just chill, and that's the vibe.
I like it.
Yep.
Cigar you would hand to someone, we'll limit this to our humidor, so I think that's the easiest. A cigar that you'd hand to someone who's never smoked a cigar before. You want them to enjoy the cigar, get a good representation of a good cigar, but you don't want to turn them off either.
It would either, honestly, a Tobacco Dolce.
Oh, you would go the flavored.
Probably.
All right, let's do it in two parts. Flavored first.
Okay.
And then we'll do traditional. So I would agree with you on the Tobacco Dolce, or... I like a Tabac more than the Java.
Yeah.
Even though they're made by the same people. I might even recommend an Isla.
So all of my friends that don't really smoke cigars, because honestly, all my friends that smoke cigars are you guys and the people that come in the shop.
Mm-hmm.
My normal friends, they'll smoke a cigar on occasion, but not really.
Yeah.
All of them got into cigars because I gave them a Tobacco Dolce, or actually an Isla, just because it's the bridge Like it gets you into smoking, but it doesn't kill you, and the sweetness is nice, and like you don't have to worry about it being too strong. You don't have to worry about it being bitter because it's sweet. It's smooth. I hate that word, but smooth. Yeah, a lot of success with that.
Okay. Traditional cigar.
First time smoker.
Never smoked a cigar before.
Probably a Chateau Fuente.
Chateau Fuente?
Yeah.
So I was going to say that, or a Charter Oak, Connecticut.
Okay. Would you like my thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else. Champagne.
So Champagne was up there for me too.
Would be way
Champagne's
up there. Obviously, we're both thinking mild stuff, like because when we talk about this, listen, if you're not paying attention, you're not engaging with your customer in the humidor, and they just want something, and you just let them grab something and come out with it, and it's their first time. Depending on what they grab, that could never be a customer again. If they grab something, you're like, oh yeah, you'll grab a blackened, or you grabbed oh wow, okay, LFD DL 700, like that's interesting.
We've talked about this before of when you're a tobacconist, you have to take your consumer hat off and put your tobacconist hat on, because so many people forget like what it was like when you first started smoking cigars.
You have to.
Yacked.
Yes.
On like the fourth cigar I ever smoked, because I went to JR's and bought something and didn't know what I was buying, and smoked it and puked my brains out, like. And you don't want anyone to ever experience that, because a lot of people won't ever smoke again.
Because that's what they believe a cigar to be.
Correct. But the idea that like just because you think a Padron 3000 is smooth doesn't mean a cigar smoker who's never smoked before is going to think it's smooth,
that's right?
It's a less peppery Maduro, if you want to argue that. If you don't retrohale, sure, I can see that. But like someone, it's like someone that's never had bourbon before drinking a barrel-proof bourbon is going to kill them.
Yeah. You guys tried doing that to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, but more mild. Arturo Fuente, that's usually my go-to in the humidor. Zeno Nicaragua is another good one. The only reason I'm more hesitant on the Charter Oak is because it does have that foundation Nicaraguan spice to it. But at the same time, it's really rich and flavorful. Like if someone was coming in and saying, I'm going to be drinking bourbon and smoking a cigar, but I've never really smoked, then I'm going Charter Oak, Antonio, Habano, Legacy, something that's going to be that more medium-ish Connecticut that's got some body to it.
It really plays with the spice and everything like that.
Yep.
What do you think about maybe like a Capaguan?
Capaguan's a great one.
Yeah.
Capaguan 52 specifically. I love that cigar.
Mm-hmm.
That one's actually one that I still, though, probably wouldn't recommend to someone who's never smoked a cigar, because it's still got a touch of spice to it. And the people that haven't smoked cigars before are looking for it to be smooth. And that smoothness equates to two things. It's pepper and whether or not they can taste it after they finish smoking it. So grade of tobacco at the end of the day, right? And so I'm not trying to give them anything that's Honduran, because Honduran can be earthy and loamy.
Dirty and loamy, yep.
I'm not trying to give them something that's going to be Nicaraguan spice, even if it's just a little bit. Like, none of us here think that a Capaguan or a Jorge Antonio is spicy. But on a fresh palate, if you've never had it before, it's like going from an 80 proof bourbon to a 100 proof bottled in bond, right? There is the little bit of extra spice. Once you're used to it, you don't taste it as much, but it's still there when you hadn't had it before. So that's a little trade secret.
Yeah, and our new Pipe and Pints.
Pipe and Pints.
Shout out to Aganorsa, who we're now doing business. Well, we've always done business with, but are now making that blend for us. Massive reception to that cigar.
Yeah,
more than I actually anticipated. And I thought it would be when we did it that it would be a good reception. So shout out to that. Well, cigar etiquette hill that you would be willing to die on. I know mine instantaneous.
Go ahead.
Unless we're doing a long ash contest, stop hanging on to that thing. If you drop that son of a bitch
that's a
in our chairs
that is
and on our
great
floor,
one.
and then you rub it in with your foot, ash the cigar appropriately. I don't care how long it's been holding on.
There's one person specifically that comes to mind about this.
It's not meant to do that. You know, it's a sign of good construction, but it's not a game. You're going to drop it on the floor. You're going to burn our chairs.
I will say,
please don't do it.
To new cigar smokers credit, not seasoned, but new cigar smokers credit. If you look up online how to properly smoke a cigar, I'm pretty sure most guides tell you to let the ash fall off naturally. So if you're ignorant, we agree. Obviously, I agree with you. That's really stupid.
Yeah, don't
if you're ignorant, I can give it a pass. But if you've been smoking cigars for 20 years, stop being lazy.
Yeah, and when they say naturally, they don't mean just let it fall in your lap. What it means is if you rub your cigar against the ashtray, it just falls off. Yeah. You don't have to tap it and flick it and all that. If you're doing that, that's not what you should be abusing your cigar. But don't be smoking it where you think it, and then you're lifting your head up just so it doesn't fall off, and you're doing this number and everything like that.
Yep.
Bad.
Mine would be, don't put your cigar in your mouth and expect to use the shop cutter.
Oh, good one. Good one.
That just needs no explanation, in my opinion. Like, if you lick the top of your cigar and you expect me to cut it with the cigar that I'm cutting other people's cigars with, no, that's disgusting.
Also, why are you smelling a cigar with the cellophane on?
Better yet, I agreed. That's dumb. Why are you putting a cigar in the humidor that you don't intend to buy directly up against your nose to smell it in general, whether it's cellophane or not cellophane? Like, the amount of people, I'm going to do this on camera, so if you're listening, you won't be able to see it, but the amount of people that go like this to the cigar and they're basically rubbing their boogers all over it trying to smell it, it's disgusting. I don't understand it. Oh, and here's one more for you. Stop squeezing cigars.
Do not squeeze the cigars.
The amount of people that think that they can squeeze a cigar and tell if it is properly humidified or well made is astonishing to me. Astonishing.
Yeah.
Because everybody has a different opinion that doesn't know of what a cigar should feel like. Like, some people think if it's squishy, it's well humidified. No, if it's squishy, that means it's underfilled. Some people think that if it's hard, it's well packed. No, usually if it's underhumidified, it's hard. Like,
or overpacked.
Or overpacked. Exactly. Yeah. Like, I just stop squeezing them. It's stupid. You really can't tell much from it. Buy your cigars from a shop that properly humidifies them, just like we do.
Fine. You're just fine. One smell that instantly makes you think of cigars. For me,
it's got to be coffee, right?
It's a close tie. Coffee does for sure, but out of the realm, like leafy mulch makes me think of cigars.
Okay.
That leafy mulchy stank when you like.
Yep.
Because I think a lot of people don't realize, like, we'll have cigars and like we open the box and we're like, dang, that's funky. Like, in a good way. We're like, oh, I'm gonna smoke that.
If it smells like chocolate and shit, I'm here for it.
You're here for it. That's right.
For it. Spanish cedar. I know that's a little silly.
No, that's yeah.
But like, it's a very distinct Spanish cedar.
If you go to somebody's house
smell.
who has like a Spanish cedar like coat closet or something, you're like, oh, it smells like my humidor in here.
Yeah. The humidor in Greensboro, when the conditions are perfect outside, smells like Spanish cedar and like chocolate and like just really, really good old tobacco. And it's probably my favorite smell in the world, honestly.
Yep. All right, we're going to end on this one. It's a good one. We can talk about this a little bit and why. We've got some planned podcast episodes coming. We're securing some guests. We got some cool ideas of some things that we want to do. Like we said, we wanted to fill just kind of with this kind of rapid fire chop session. But dream guest to do the podcast with on Between Two Burns.
In industry, out of industry, doesn't matter. Just dream guest.
Yeah, reasonable. I mean, obviously, it'd be sick to have Jordan or Tiger Woods. Or something
so
like
that's
that.
what I was going to ask you.
But no, reasonable guess that you would want to talk about them and their relationship with cigars with.
Do you have an answer?
I have a few. Pepin would be really high.
Yep.
For sure. Talk about the story, his life before. Not necessarily before cigars, but before my father. We've had a chance to interview Terrence remotely. I think we'll do him in person at some point in time. I think he's an awesome podcast interview. I think Carlito would be a really cool interview, like to do that with, just because they're I mean, we'd love to ask a million different questions of him.
I'm gonna say
the Padron family.
Yeah,
would be sick to do.
I'm gonna say Eduardo Fernandez.
Eduardo would be great
because he would never do it, ever.
That would be a white whale. Yeah.
Eduardo does not own a phone, or at least he didn't the last time I saw him and met him. He does not own a watch. He is not big into technology. Most people don't realize that he's the largest landowner in Nicaragua. He's a billionaire multiple times over. He's been a successful businessman in multiple different industries, and he grows my favorite tobacco in the industry. But I've never actually, like, I've met him and I've talked to him at the shop. You know, he spent about an hour or two there. We got to hear some stories and stuff, but, like, I would just love to know the ins and outs of, like, how things came to be.
What it was like, I would love just to know, like, the transition into cigars.
Yeah.
Right?
It was
From
like,
what he was doing.
I'm just going to
Yeah.
decided he wanted to do it.
Right. And it feels like that to the outsider, but is that actually true, right?
Yeah.
Like, or was there a lifelong yearn, like, I wanted to get to this point with this type of things? Or was it a natural evolution of I've got land, I enjoy these things, and there's because he was on the forefront of Nicaragua, right?
Yep.
Like, early on.
So he bought. So Aganorsa was Pedro Martin's farm, and he bought the farm from Pedro Martin and put together a team of basically who he thought were the superstars in the industry, including Pepin. But I don't know why. Like you said, like I don't know what drove him to do that. I don't know if it was because I don't know if tobacco or cattle came first.
I don't either.
Right? Like I would love to know the story about the pizza. Like was it called Telemundo?
Telepizza.
Televiva Pizza or something?
Something like that, yeah. Yep.
I'd love to know
Telemundo's the TV station.
Yes, you're right. You're exactly right. I'd love to know that story. Like, I just would love to sit down and talk to him. And then I am going to throw you the curveball of the episode. I would love to do a podcast with Steve Saka.
So I was just going to say I would love like a battle royale with you and Saka to go.
Here's the thing. I almost feel like if we did a podcast, he and I would almost be on the same page.
Probably. It's one of those things, probably.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
Quit the shtick, quit the bullshit. Like, let's talk cigars. Like, I'd love to do it, and maybe it ends horribly. I don't know. But
yeah,
I would love to do it.
It would be sick if it ended horribly.
Yeah, it would be. I would love to do it.
I think Jonathan Drew would be a fun interview.
Yeah, I bet that dude's got some stories,
because there's an electric, he's a great talker and interview. I think that would be really cool. I think Nick Malia at Foundation would be awesome because of his passion. Gellis would be great. But one popped in my head while we were talking about this, because when you said, Eduardo would never do it. And this is a person who also would never do it, but I'm going to ask. Okay? I think it would be great to have Larry on a podcast.
He would never.
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 And and even if he said yes, I'm not sure he would say anything either. But if we could get him to say stuff, I think it would be great.
Larry's not a talker.
I'm aware.
I know you are.
I'm aware.
I know you are. But, yeah, it's funny. As long as I've known Larry, I've found more out about Larry from other people than I have Larry.
100%.
And that's
100%.
fine. I don't care. I love Larry to death.
And maybe it's more of a podcast of This Is Your Life, Larry Christopher. Yeah. And then we bring on other people to talk about Larry. There's some people, these would not be dream guests, okay? But that I would love to talk with on a podcast so that they would almost force to listen to it back and wonder what they would think. Like, I would love to do an hour and a half podcast with John Appel. Right? And we bring out the questions.
We would get I don't even know if this podcast can get canceled, but if it was going to get canceled, it
would
be with John
Rogan
Appel.
goes long on conspiracies. Wait till that episode.
Yeah, the Frenchman, who honestly is a really interesting cat, but like is so just like old man out there and like ADD. Just doesn't make sense.
One person we're talking about, we'll have him as a guest because he wants to do the podcast. But I think we talked about it'd be a great interview. We want to do a podcast about spitting everywhere about pipes. I think Waylon, we're gonna do a podcast with him coming up. Is great. We're working on. I'm going to say it on the podcast because that'll help make it come to fruition and get us to get on the books with it. We want to do a podcast here in Durham with Phil Ford, former North Carolina basketball legend, who's a cigar guy and a customer. Would be great. But yeah, I mean, there's tons of different people who bring tons of different things, I think, to the conversation. Who have, especially when you're talking to them from the manufacturing perspective, because it would almost, I would love, this would almost be, and I just mentioned both of these people, but it would almost be more incredible as a 4-man podcast to do the two of us with Nick and with Jonathan Drew, because obviously there's a relationship there.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad relationship or anything like that.
Oh, we just need to throw Sokka in the mix if we're doing all that. Then we got the Drew Estate trifecta.
Then you got the round table going on.
Yeah.
I'm not sure then we would get to say anything.
No, but it'd be
other
funny.
Than go.
Yeah.
But like I think some contrasting styles of the two of them, but probably there's a lot of common thread behind the scenes, behind the mask, if you will, or something like that. I think would make for a really cool, like, if you were to do that.
Yeah, the thing about any guest that we have, especially a cigar industry guest, is that these guys have been on so many podcasts. And I feel like we did a really good job with Terrence of like making it different.
Like,
correct.
That's our goal.
Yeah.
I would
for
not
anybody
want to
listening, that's our goal.
I wouldn't want to rehash the same stuff.
Yeah, like I'm like Hot Ones interview style, like asking different questions and like trying to get people to open up. Because the one thing I've learned about the cigar industry over the year is the people in it are very good at portraying the same thing, like not stepping on toes, but then when you get in the industry you realize like this is not how it is at all.
Now if we're talking everybody, all the things like you know everybody, but has a connection to cigars, I think Schwarzenegger would be unbelievable.
Yeah,
because of how much he loves cigars. We're talking everything from the Mr. Universe or whatever that was, to the movies, to cigars, to governor and politics. There's not enough storage space on a flash drive to...
Is there a more famous cigar smoker than Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Living?
Yeah. MJ?
It's Arnold or it's Jordan. And I don't know which one would be more famous for smoking cigars. I'm not sure which one's more famous, period.
Yeah. Yep.
It's one of those two. Those are the two that jump off the page, known for their cigars. I mean, I think Schwarzenegger's been on the cover of Aficionado like...
That's a lot.
Like 4 or 5 times or something like that. I know Andy Garcia, the actor, is a big cigar person. And I'm sure there's people that we don't know of that are huge cigar people. And everything like that.
Yeah, I think don't hold me to this, but I'm 99% sure that Pete Johnson made a cigar for Harrison Ford.
That would be cool. That would be a cool interview.
I think it was Harrison Ford. Now, I'm going to text Mike after this, and he's going to be like, no, it was Woody Harrelson
cigars
or something.
And Indiana Jones and Star Wars and Jack Ryan.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think, we're talking celebrity cigar person. And if you're listening to this and you can think of somebody else, put them in the comments because I'm drawing a blank then after that.
Yeah.
There's a million other ones. Let's be honest. Miguel Angel Jimenez, the PGA Tour, former PGA Tour, now senior tour. He's a huge cigar guy. You still catch him on the course smoking cigars, which you do not see very often. But yeah, any one of those gifts would be cool.
Yeah.
But we've got cool pods coming over the next few months. We're moving into the holidays, so expect some more stuff, video stuff. Last thing, shout out everybody who played in the golf tournament. Golf tournament was last week. We powered through the rain. We got some breaks in it. Everybody still had a great time.
Yep.
We broke our record for racing for Hands for Heart, excuse me. So shout out to
Trophies
them.
in Winston now.
Trophies in the Winston-Salem store. Shout out Aaron Weldon and his crew who won this year. It's one of our favorite events to do. It's one of our favorite events that our customers like to do. And we appreciate everybody's support every year for coming out for it. You know, Brian Park for hosting it, the whole 9 yards. Thank you to, Avo, Carolee at Avo Cigars came out, Don Williams at AJ Fernandez, Daryl at Rocky Patel, and Mark Thibodeau for Aganorsa came out.
Yep.
Avo had tons of prizes that we gave away. We did the Let It Ride bourbon raffle. Shout out to Waylon, who will talk with him on the podcast if he's drank his old rip yet that he won in the bourbon raffle.
I think he and Franklin were going to drink it that night.
Were they really?
I think so.
Sick. We'll talk about it with him and talk about the game, but he let it ride, and it could not have gone any better.
No.
But he let it ride and then won the big dog in the end.
Yeah.
So it worked out perfectly. But other than that, appreciate you, buddy. Look out for the new stuff coming. This will drop next week, and we've got some
exciting stuff coming up.
Humongous news coming up, maybe as soon as the next podcast.
Yep. Big news.
Big news.
Very big news.
Big news. I'm talking
biggest news.
The biggest news we've ever had.
Yeah.
Ever.
Easy.
Not even close.
Nope. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Appreciate you. Like, subscribe, unsubscribe, then resubscribe.
Yeah, and leave us some comments, too.
Yes,
if
please
there's
leave
anything
comments.
you want us to talk about on here.
Yeah, listen, if you got a guest that you'd like us to reach out to, we're looking at doing that stuff.
If you've got questions for us, we'd love to have a fan question episode.
And that would be great. And I think that's a podcast that we'll have coming up is do a fan mail, mailbag type of episode where we'll reach out to customers to get some questions. I think that would be a lot of fun. Yep. Otherwise, till next time. See you, buddy.
Yeah, between two burns, yeah, between two burns. Come and join the convo. Jason and Ethan here to talk, yo. Chilling while we filling up the room with cigar smoke. Hey, between two burns, yeah, between two burns. This be the show that you like. We always keeping it hype. We got cigars and a mic, talking the pipe and the pint. Let's go.